What is going on, Cowboys Nation? We are back with another film session, and we had to come in here and break down Tyler Booker's performance. He's one of the players that really stood out this past game. Having a positive game like this can absolutely build momentum going into his rookie season. So let's analyze his tape to see how he did. So on this play here, you'll see Tyler Booker get his hands inside right away. The defender tries to push him back, but Booker anchors down, holds his ground, and completely walls off the quarterback. That solid pass protection from a rookie is good to see on film. So we'll go ahead and split it. So locking on this play here, just studying Tyler Booker, engaging with that defensive tackle. He was backing up a little bit on this rep, but with this type of player, if he can get his hands inside, he has the ability to be able to anchor down and recover. And as you can see, when you do have a clean pocket like this, with the left tackle doing his job, the center and the guard doing their job, as well as the right tackle, it makes things easier when it comes down to the quarterback and buying him enough time to throw a catchable pass. And as far as Joe Milton, he has a ton of work that he needs to do, but usually when you do have a clean pocket like this, it brings the best out of quarterbacks. But with a guy like Tyler Booker, the technique, the strength, and aggressiveness is what he showed all throughout college. And playing in the NFL, you will be going up against a lot of top tier talent. There will be good plays, there will be bad plays, but he's one of those guys that I think that he will be making more good plays versus bad. And coming into this game, he only played 28 snaps. I believe that the coaching staff felt as though that he didn't need to play that first game because of the work that he's been putting in throughout training camp. But showing that you can be effective with the starters as well as backups around you, it's always a good look when it comes down to watching film. But seeing Tyler Booker being aggressive in pass pro, getting his hands inside, and allowing Joe Milton enough time to make a throw was good to see by the rookie. Here's another rep where Booker engages right away, gets his hands on the defender, then turns his hips perfectly to seal off the lane. He becomes that wall in the run game, giving Miles Sanders the crease he needs to slip through for a solid gain. And what's crazy is this is exactly what we saw on Booker's college film. The quick engagement, the ability to position his body, and the awareness to finish blocks. And all of those traits there are showing up on NFL film already. So let's split it. So running this play here, Miles Sanders gets the ball. I'm really rooting for a guy like Miles to be productive in his offense. But as you can see, Booker clamps on and turns those hips. And these things here make it so much easier when it comes down to the running back position. Just building that wall, and Miles Sanders slashes right through here for a solid gain. And sometimes when you end up getting those 4 or 5 yard runs, that there can be able to keep this whole playbook open. Sometimes you have to go out there and get those dirty yards. And with a player like Tyler Booker, he's one of those guys that is physical all 4 quarters. And that right there can be able to rub off on everybody on the offensive line. Just because he's young does not mean that this player can't come in here and be a leader year one, because Zach Martin did the same thing. And I'm not saying that he's on the level of a Zach Martin, but this is one of those talents that can bring the best out of everybody. And the film never lies, Cowboys Nation. But it's good to see this player with the awareness to be able to turn his hips, just having a good understanding of what the running back is trying to do and making it hard for the opposing player. By watching his first game, Tyler Booker shows that raw power that proves that he belongs in his league. Only 28 snaps in his debut, but he made everyone count. And here's a rep where he completely bench presses this defensive tackle, shocking this player right at the line of scrimmage. But towards the end, he does disengage from him and gets his hands on Deuce Vaughn. But the sheer strength that this player flashes is the kind of thing that really jumps off the screen. That is the kind of power here that you like to see from your rookie guard. So let's run it. So locking it on Tyler Booker. There's so many Tylers on the offensive line. I do not want to make a mistake on any of these guys' names, but you can just see that he's getting his hands inside and completely bench presses them. These are the things that we have to zoom in on just so you guys can be able to catch these movements. Because when you can be aggressive like that with somebody in the fourth quarter, sometimes they let up, making things easier when you're trying to run the ball. Now, the defensive tackle still stretched his right arm out and caught Deuce Vaughn, but it's good to highlight his aggressiveness, having that brute strength to be able to shock these defensive linemen. And seeing him for these 28 snaps, you didn't see any times where he was leaning forward or getting off balance. He was using good technique in the run game as well as the pass game. And I honestly think by him being by Terrence Steele and Cooper Beebe, it's just going to make him a better player and vice versa. It's Cool to have the nice guys on the offensive line, but somebody got to have that dog mentality. And with Tyler Smith and Tyler Booker, those two guards, they bring it. Because we will be seeing the Dexter Lawrences of the world, Jalen Carter, Deron Payne. So both of the Tylers in the interior, they got to come ready. But another solid rep by Tyler Booker on this one. Now look at this play here. This is where Tyler Booker really shows his awareness. And this might end up being one of my favorite plays. The Ravens dialed up a stunt, sending 3 different defenders crashing in. But Booker stays patient, keeps his eyes up, and somehow manages to shut down all of them. The crash guy, the looper, and even the extra rusher that's sneaking in from the left side. And he is one of those talents that is a complete plug in the middle, holding firm and giving the quarterback just enough time to throw the ball. That kind of patience and vision from a rookie guard is special. So we'll go ahead and run it. So locking on this play here, just watching Tyler Booker. You see that defensive tackle, he's trying to give him a quick rip. But the good thing is Tyler Booker keeps his head up and eyes wide open, passing off that defensive tackle and going straight to the looper. And the thing is, a lot of these scouts, you want those big body guys. If you can be that plug in the middle, it is everything. So he was able to stop not 1, not 2, but 3 defenders from being able to get to the quarterback. And all it takes is half a second for these defenders to affect these plays. And these are the reps that we really have to pay attention to, because there will be a plethora of teams that's coming out this year that will be running wicked stunts and trying to find ways to confuse the offensive line. But it's great to see that this player has an understanding of what the defense is trying to do, because that half a second of extra time right there can bring the best out of a player like Dak Prescott. So great play by Tyler Booker, using patience, vision, and finding a way to be able to make it happen. So dominating play by Tyler Booker on his rep. Another rep here that really stood out was Booker moving laterally with the defender, staying right in front of him and keeping that lane alive. And because of that, the running back had the freedom to read it, find the crease, and slice right inside of Booker for a solid gain. And this is exactly how you draw it up, with the quick feet, control, and creating an opening without ever losing leverage. So we go ahead and run it. So locking on this play here, you see that he's clamping on with that defensive tackle. And he did have a lot of questions coming out as far as him moving laterally. He's not the most athletic guard, but if he can be able to get himself in the right spot, that is all that a running back needs. But just by him using that big body to get in the way, Miles Sanders was able to fit in right here and take off for a solid gain. And it's the little things that matters when it comes down to that offensive line. The good thing is we have a player that is very physical in Tyler Booker, who has the ability to play duo, some outside zone. You just got to put this player in the right spot so he can be effective. And I honestly believe that if we can have good offensive line play, it's going to bring the best out of CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, who I cannot wait to see this year, because this guy alone supercharged the whole fan base. But these guys got to go out there and go prove it. But when you have a player in Booker who has short area quickness, he has violent hands, he has the ability to be able to anchor down, he has a strong base, and the ability to be able to pick up stunts and twist like a veteran, that is exactly what you want. On top of this player already being a leader. And this is a player that has absolutely checked off the boxes in this first game. Here's another clip of him in pass pro, showing his aggressiveness again and playing with good technique. So running this play here, just seeing him firing off the ball, clamping down, and just stymieing this defensive tackle. Now you do want him to consistently get those hands inside, because if he's wrapping those long arms around these guys, that makes you prone for holding calls. But he gave Joe Milton enough time to throw towards the sideline. And Joe Milton is inaccurate again on this play. Hopefully he can be able to get things rolling. Sometimes it's not always about practice. In that live game, when you got these defenders coming at you, you got to be on top of it. So hopefully he can show something in this last preseason game, because we need that backup spot solidified. But as far as Tyler Booker, I think that in pass protection, that is where this guy is at his best. The run game, he will get better. If he can be on the same page as everybody on the offensive line, the sky is truly the limit when it comes down to this talent. So on this final play here, it's another play that we like to see from him, showing movement skills and finding a way to get his hands on a defender that's slashing inside. There have been questions about his mobility, like I said earlier, but it's good to see him get to his spot quickly to allow the running back space to get busy. So let's run it. So running this play here, you see that he's pulling to the left side. That defender, he slashed inside quickly. He didn't set the edge, he fell for the bait, and Deuce Vaughn quickly attacks the outside. So it's good to see Booker with the ability to be physical. You can use this player on pin pull concepts. There is a lot that he can be able to do out there, but you got to play to this player's strengths. So honestly, I would like to see something from him in his last preseason game because he is going to have to be ready to go, especially when you're going up against that defensive line in Philly. But sometimes when you got that true alpha dog, you can plug that guy in and he will be ready to roll. But this ended up being a dominant first game by Tyler Booker for sure. So it's going to be good to see how it all plays out with this offensive line. Everything starts up front. When you have players like Tyler Booker, Tyler Smith, and Cooper Beebe in the interior, this is how you can go out there and play bully ball. But it definitely won't come easy this season. They have to go out there and earn it, game in and game out. But I'm happy that football is back. We have so much film that we're going to break down this last preseason game as well as the regular season. So make sure you guys tap in. So comment below and let me know what you guys think about Tyler Booker and who else do y'all want to see me break down just like this video. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss some fire updates and the best football film sessions on YouTube. All right, Cowboys Nation. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.